Welcome to Vancouver Carpenter. So today I'm going to compare the Makita drywall drill. I don't know, is there a model number? I don't know. It's brushless, I can tell you that much. And the Hilti SD 4500. This is the A18. They now have an A22. I don't know what that means. Don't really care, to be honest. But I've had this one for about 3-4 years. And it's an amazing drill. It's like light, ergonomic. Is it light? I don't know if it's light. I haven't weighed them. But it doesn't feel too heavy for a cordless drywall drill. For me, this one was money well spent. I'm sure it's more expensive than the Makita. And then the other downside is you're gonna have way less options as to other tools. So the Makita, of course, has the full Makita lineup, so you can already use your existing batteries if you run Makita. Whereas this one is a little more limited. The reason I got this one is for the drywall attachment, the auto feed drywall attachment. So I love that thing. I don't know if there's an easily available Makita model. I'm sure there is models. I've seen them like years ago when I used to watch drywall videos all the time. Yes, I used to watch drywall videos too. I used to see Australian dudes all the time hanging, you know, they're like 6-meter sheets, which are like 20-foot sheets, but they're 3/8 thick, which is weird. Anyways, they were always using auto feed Makita guns that I had never seen out here. But before we get into it, let's just cover a couple of real quick little things. So just like how it feels in my hand. Like I'm pretty used to this Hilti. It feels nice and balanced. And the first thing I noticed about the Makita, while it's narrower, so it takes a smaller grip, it feels a little less clunky. I do notice that it kind of feels a little bit front heavy, like it kind of wants to go like this. The same way when I put it down on a flat surface, this one tends to want to fall forward a lot easier. I mean, if you look at them, right? It's way taller. Like look at that when we just measure them like this. And then this longer battery that the Hilti has tends to keep it much more stable when resting on things. So you're gonna have less Phillip-shaped stars in your customers' floors from your drills falling over. You should have protected those floors, you know better. But anyways, basically I'm just gonna run this drill for a little while, see how it feels, what I think. So leave all your experiences with both drills in the comments below. Which one do you prefer? You know, that's always the best way to find out the general consensus is read the comments. And leave one if you have experience. So anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna start hanging with this because I already know how this runs. I love it. It's ergonomic. It's a great drill. The only other thing that I noticed right off the bat is this one, while they're both variable speed, this one takes a little longer to slow down, and this one has some sort of a brake. So it stops right away. It doesn't sound like a proper drywall drill though, I'll tell you that much. All right, well let's get started on this thing. It's got a bunch of crazy pipes up here that are gonna hold the board out an inch from the wall and cause me all sorts of grief, but hey, why not? All right, let's get this thing fired up. You know what? In all honesty, first impressions, I actually like this one better. It just kind of feels light, smooth, really nice, tight, compact, puts the screws in really nicely. I'm gonna use this for a while, and then I'm gonna go back to the Hilti and see what my impression is. Alright, so yeah, I'm really liking this drill, but one thing worth noting is that I have the 4.0 battery on here, and my Hilti is a 1.5. Well, it's a pretty large battery for a 1.5 or 1.6, whatever it is. So anyways, let's change this out, that 4.0, to a little freshly charged 1.5. And now see how this feels. Now this is really light. That's nice. But I have no idea how long it's gonna last. drill was really nice with this little battery. But you know, I didn't get too far with it. So it's still good enough to just sink screws like this. But as soon as you try going, it just can't do it anymore. So, you know, I would say, now in its defense, these batteries are old ones. So they're old and worn out. If these were brand new batteries, I would probably get more, but honestly, I only got, I think, 2 sheets out of these little batteries. 2 or 3 sheets going full bore, and that was after it was already charged. Again, it's an old battery, but still, definitely not adequate like that. Still good enough for sinking single screws, just not like going around production style. And it's just so nice and light. You know, you can put it in the tool belt and you don't notice it too badly. So overall, yeah, I would say this is, you know, a really nice drill. I would happily have something like this in my kit. Definitely adequate, but yeah, it needs the bigger batteries to function really nicely and to run for a long time like a proper production machine. Basically what I just said. But the Hilti, like, I can do that. I can set it, you know. And I'm not kidding you, I can easily get an hour to almost 2 hours out of this battery doing that. And that might not seem like a lot, but for a 1.6 that's about 3 years old, to be able to just like leave it running like that and get that much juice out of it, that's really impressive. So I would definitely say the battery life on these Hiltis, you know, as kind of cumbersome as it is compared to this dainty little thing, you're definitely gonna get more value in terms of production out of this. All right, I've switched back to the bigger battery because I think it's a more accurate comparison compared to the Hilti batteries. Unless you guys know, do the smaller 1.5 batteries actually last a long time, or is it like I said, you can't run full bore on them? Anyways, I just want to get the feel for this one again, and then I'm going to try my Hilti again and reevaluate my gut impression of the 2 drills. It definitely just is like a nice, tight, compact feeling drill. It's got a good feel to it. Battery and position makes it just a little bit bottom heavy. But overall, it's, yeah, nice tight little drill. You know what? Even though this one feels a little bit kind of lighter and daintier, this one I still think is balanced better. I can't explain it. Even though it's got this huge battery on it, it just sits in the hand better. And just also generally my screws tend to go in a little bit straighter. I notice I'm definitely getting some crooked screws here and there with this. But in terms of like how it functions as a drywall drill, yeah, it does a really good job. Like it feels like it sinks in real nice, quick and easy. This to me, maybe I'm just more used to it. This feels a little bit smoother. So for me, I'd say I got a little bit better value for money, and I like the auto feed attachment on this drill. So I'm probably gonna stick to this guy, but if you have the blue tools, then I think this is gonna be a great addition. Now, before we go praising Makita too much, I gotta bring something up. I'm rehashing the past a little here. This drywall drill that I bought at Home Depot maybe about 6 years ago was the biggest piece of crap I have ever bought. A total waste of, it was like 170 Canadian at the time, like darn near 200. It was a piece of garbage from the moment I bought it. So let me show you guys how this one works. All right, first let's compare the regular Makita. Like I said, good functioning drill. Generally, no problems. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna try and use it as I normally do. Let's make sure we don't have bits stuck on the magnetic drill tip, because sometimes there can be little bits of steel, like shavings, and that'll mess up how it works. So this one didn't even have, no, you can't even like let it go. It has no variable speed, so it's just on or off. But anyways, let's try it. Make it work like a regular drill, just like punk. every time. So that was better, but still bad. Adequate. I'm serious. Like, look at that, right? So I had been using a drywall drill for a long time before I bought that one. So let's try the Hilti again and see, you know, what sort of success we have with just plunking these screws in here. Right? You can just hammer them home. It works as a drywall drill is supposed to work. Anyways, you guys, thanks for hearing my rant. Hopefully you got something out of this video. If you're looking for the tools, as usual, they're in the description below if I could find an Amazon link. Somebody's vacuuming upstairs. That's what the extra sound is. Anyways, again, thanks for watching. Video's done, rant's done. Some good drills there, except for that one piece of trash. No, better than it usually does. Ah! Quality! This is my favorite. Yeah, I like this one. Does a good job. It's just a good duster. No, it doesn't. I'm done. You really shouldn't be filming me anymore.